Did you know? Santa Cruz Skateboards is one of the oldest continuous skateboard companies founded way back in 1973 by Richard Novak, Doug Hott, and Jay Schwerman. They've been producing boards for over 50 years now. The North American model of wildlife conservation is a set of principles that ensures wildlife belongs to everyone, not just landowners, and is managed by science. It was developed in the late 19th and early 20th centuries by folks like Theodore Roosevelt. The Aswan High Dam, completed in 1970, totally changed Egypt's agricultural landscape by controlling the Nile's floods. It also provides a massive amount of hydroelectric power crucial for the country's development. Saturn's moon, Titan, is seriously unique because it has actual lakes and rivers on its surface. But get this, they're not made of water. They're filled with liquid methane and ethane like crack and mare. It's a truly alien world out there. Many Vermont towns still use a unique form of direct democracy called town meeting, which dates back to the colonial era. Residents gather annually, often on the first Tuesday of March, to vote directly on budgets and local ordinances. Pretty cool. Montgomery, Alabama was way ahead of its time with public transport. It launched the very first citywide electric streetcar system in the United States back in 1886, earning it the nickname Capital of the Confederacy and Cradle of the Electric Streetcar. St. Louis Union Station was once the largest and busiest train station in the world. When it opened in 1894, its massive Grand Hall served over 1,000 million passengers daily during its peak operations. Newborns can totally cry, but they don't produce actual emotional tears until they're about 3 to 4 months old. Before that, it's just basic lubrication. Canada holds a staggering 20% of the world's freshwater reserves, making it an incredibly water-rich nation. A lot of that is stored in its countless lakes, which number over 2 million more than any other country. Deep-sea gigantism is a real thing. Creatures grow much larger than their shallow water relatives. Dipothynemus giganteus, a deep-sea isopod, can hit 50 centimeters long, basically a massive pill bug. Charleston wasn't always West Virginia's capital, believe it or not. Wheeling held the title twice, from 1863-1870 and again from 1875-1885 before Charleston officially took over. Chile has produced 2 Nobel Prize winners in literature, which is pretty wild for a country its size. Gabriela Mistral won in 1945 and Pablo Neruda in 1971, both legendary poets. The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum isn't in a major league city, but in tiny Cooperstown, New York. It opened its doors in 1939, welcoming fans to celebrate baseball history. Check this out. The city of Burlington, Iowa is home to a seriously twisty road called Snake Alley. It's famously known as one of the crookedest streets in the world, built with a unique S-curve design back in 1894. In the town of Sweetwater, Tennessee, you can explore North America's largest underground lake, known as the Lost Sea Adventure. This incredible cavern system holds a massive, pristine body of water, no joke. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928 after returning from a vacation to find mold growing in a petri dish. Turns out this mold was killing the bacteria around it totally by chance. The Nick Fury most people know with the eye patch and SHIELD. Leadership started as a Wirtwe sergeant in Eskeet. Fury and his Howling Commandos does one in 1963. He was later reimagined as a super spy. The hognose snake is a total drama queen when it feels threatened, no joke. It'll actually roll onto its back, stick out its tongue, and release a foul-smelling musk to pretend it's dead. The smallest of the 8 main Hawaiian islands, Kaho'olawe, was actually used as a bombing range by the US Navy for decades. It was finally returned to the state in 1994, but cleanup is ongoing. Pounamu, or greenstone, is incredibly significant to Maori culture in New Zealand, valued for its beauty and strength. It's often used for tools, weapons, and intricate carvings holding deep spiritual meaning. When you're sleeping, your brain goes into full-on cleaning mode using something called the glymphatic system to flush out metabolic waste products. It's like a nightly detox for your gray matter, mostly during deep sleep. That super crisp and sweet Honeycrisp apple you love? It was developed right here at the University of Minnesota back in 1991. Talk about a delicious homegrown success story. Kazuki Takahashi, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, actually had a different birth name, Kazuo Takahashi, before he rose to fame. He officially changed his first name to Kazuki later in his career, which is pretty interesting. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people on Earth, still lives in the same modest house in Omaha, Nebraska that he bought way back in 1958. It cost him just $3,100 at the time. India's famous Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, often called the toy train, actually runs on an incredibly narrow 2-foot gauge track. It climbs thousands of feet into the Himalayas, which is quite a journey. The oldest player to ever step onto the field in a FIFA World Cup match was Issam El Hadari for Egypt. He was an astounding 45 years and 161 days old when he played in 2018. Floyd Mayweather Jr. earned over $1 billion in career earnings, making him one of the highest paid athletes ever. His 50-0 record certainly helped him secure those massive paydays. Nebraska holds the record for the smallest incorporated town in the entire United States, Monowi. Its sole resident, Elsie Eiler, serves as mayor, librarian, and bartender, running the whole place by herself. China actually has a crazy problem with ghost cities that are super empty. For example, the city of Ordos Kangbashi was built for over 1 million people, but for years it was practically a ghost town. Mount Kailash in Tibet is considered one of the most sacred mountains in several religions, and get this, it remains completely unclimbed. Many believe its 638-meter peak is a spiritual center. You might think you know blueberries, but Maine is the top producer of wild blueberries in the whole country. These tiny powerhouses are harvested from over 38,000 acres across the state. When you're picking out your Christmas tree, there's a good chance it came from North Carolina. They're one of the top growers in the US, especially famous for their beautiful fragrant Fraser firs. The first woman to win an Olympic gold medal was Hélène de Portalez, a Swiss sailor who competed in the 1900 Paris Games. She snagged gold in the 1 to 2 ton sailing event as part of a mixed crew. While all the other Nobel Prizes are awarded in Stockholm, the Nobel Peace Prize is actually presented in Oslo, Norway. Alfred Nobel himself specified this in his will. The Neolithic city of Çatalhöyük, in modern-day Turkey dating back to 7500 BCE, had no streets or public spaces. People actually walked across connected rooftops and entered their homes through holes in the ceiling. The Thai word for Thailand is Prathet Thai, which literally translates to land of the free. This reflects the fact that Thailand is the only Southeast Asian nation never colonized by Europeans. You know how intense some rock songs can get? Well, the Beatles' track Helter Skelter from the White Album actually inspired Charles Manson's doomsday prophecies, leading him to believe the song predicted a race war. Pretty wild stuff. The concept of hypertext, which powers the web we use today, was actually envisioned much earlier by Ted Nelson with Project Xanadu. He started working on this ambitious nonlinear document system back in 1960. Those dark patches on the moon called Maria, or seas, aren't actually water. They're ancient plains of solidified lava from massive volcanic eruptions billions of years ago. Turns out, the moon was quite active geologically back then. The wingspan of a Boeing 747 is actually longer than the entire distance of the Wright brothers' first flight. That historic hop in 1903 covered only 37 meters, but a 747 stretches over 64 meters. Egypt's Red Sea coast boasts some of the world's most vibrant and pristine coral reefs, attracting divers from all over. Places like Sharm el-Sheikh offer incredible marine biodiversity with over 1,200 fish species. One of Jupiter's moons, Europa, is believed to hide a massive ocean beneath its icy crust. Scientists think it contains more liquid water than all of Earth's oceans combined, making it a prime spot for potential alien life. Seriously cool. Jupiter's iconic Great Red Spot. That giant storm is actually shrinking over time. It has shrunk by more than half since scientists first started observing it centuries ago. Kinda makes you wonder what's gonna happen to it next, right? Our moon is actually shrinking ever so slightly over time like a raisin. Scientists estimate it has shrunk by about 50 meters in circumference over the last few 100 million years. Kinda wild to think our big moon is getting smaller. Your eyes are pretty much self-cleaning machines, constantly producing tears and blinking to wash away dust and irritants. You don't even have to think about keeping them spotless. If you enjoyed these, subscribe for daily facts and catch the shorts too.